Good morning, girly yogis. It's such a nice day, isn't it? Oh my God, I see flowers blooming, and oh, the temperature is great. The sun is pretty. So get outside. Get outside today. Okay, so let's begin in our chairs and we'll find our sit bones. Let's take a moment to breathe. Take your shoulders up, down, and back. Let's place our hands on our belly. Close your eyes and we'll just take a moment or two to breathe. When you place your hands on your belly, it's just an awareness to draw your breath deep or deeper. And when you're ready, come back, gently open your eyes. Let's come to the edge of our chair. We'll take the shoulders up, back, and down. Big circles. And then let's take them forward. And let's bring it to neutral, and then we'll take one shoulder, this is my right shoulder, up to your ear. Give it a little squeeze. And then the other shoulder up to your ear. Give it a little squeeze. And then we'll take the shoulders up, down, and back and squeeze those shoulder blades. Release the arms. Let's try it again. Shoulders up, down, and back and squeeze. And then release it one last time. Up, down, and back. And squeeze. Okay. Let's do something for the abdomen, the chest. We're just going to move from head to toe and loosen everything up. So we'll do a seated cat and cow. We'll have our hands on our thighs. And when we do the cow, we inhale the heart forward. See if you keep those arms nice and straight. Feel the back of your spine come right in. You're getting a nice arc and a forward stretch of your spine. And then as you exhale, we'll round the back. Again, keep those arms straight. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then we'll inhale and bring the heart forward. And exhale and round spine. So to your own breath, inhale. Lifting, and then the exhale, you're rounding. Let's do it a couple more times. And then come to neutral. And again, take those shoulders up, back, and down. Take your hands to the underside of your chair and open your chest. And then release the effort. We're going to take one hand under your chair and the other arm right up next to your ear, and we're going to use the exhale to open the whole side. Inhale, reach up and stretch, and exhale, just open that whole left side. And we'll inhale to center and release that arm, switch it up. Hold the underside of your chair and the opposite arm right up next to your ear, and we're using the breath. Let's do a couple more. And last one. And release the arm. Let's roll the shoulders again. Let's take the arms out to the side and we'll press through the heels of your hands, your fingers pointing up. And then allow your fingers to hang, even roll them under so your wrist gets a nice stretch. And we'll go back and forth, first pressing, and then dropping and stretching, pressing, and dropping, stretching, and last one. Press, 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 and stretch. Beautiful. Give yourself a nice big hug, and we'll rock from side to side. Let's do a little twist from the center, gently to the right and then to the left. And we're coming back to center and release. Give those arms a nice shake. And we'll switch it out, arms to the outside, opposite arm on top. And we'll rock from side to side, sit bone to sit bone. And then we'll come to center, do a little twist. And back to center, and we'll shake out those arms. Okay. With our hands on our thighs, let's do a forward bend. We'll use the exhale. So a breath in. And as you exhale the breath, just reach down towards your ankles. See if you can let the head hang. Then we need to take that next breath in. We'll come up and back. Let's use the exhale to come forward and down and hang your head a bit. And use the inhale to come back and up. One last time. And we'll come to center and hold for a breath. Okay. Edge of our chair, let's stretch that right leg away and we'll add a reach. And the opposite leg, and add a reach. And both legs, a little bump in the knee to help you feel safe, and add a reach. Inhaling up and back, and feet on the floor. Let's walk the feet out nice and wide. We'll warm up those hips. We're moving heel toe to the outside and heel toe to the inside. Let's bring the soles of our feet together and let your knees fall away. We'll press those feet together. Lift your torso up and out. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Soften your belly. And then we'll bring those knees together. Feet hip width apart, and we'll take one knee into your chest and give a little squeeze. And then the other knee to your chest. And give it a little squeeze. Let's come up on the heels. And then up on the balls of your feet. Back to your heels, lots of space between your toes. Up onto the balls of your feet. Heels with lots of space between your toes, and then last time, onto the balls of your feet. This time roll to the pinky toe, and then to the big toe. All right, feet on the floor. Let's bring your arms up at shoulder height, and we'll do a little twist. Keep your knees forward, and let the torso twist. Shoulders down. Let's slow it down. And the next time you come forward, you'll release those arms. We'll take your shoulders up, down, and back. Give a little squeeze of your shoulder blades. We're going to use the breath to bring the arms out in front and up. And then exhale and reach back. So use your breath, inhaling up. And reach back. Let's do a few more of these to your own breath. You can speed it up or slow it down. Let's do one last one. And release. We'll draw the shoulders up, back. Make big circles. Okay. Shoulders up, back, and down, and we'll add a little squeeze. Release your arms, and we'll inhale them out and up. Exhaling out and down, using your breath out and up. Hands together over your head, exhaling out and down. Let's do a few more of those to your own breath. And this time when you inhale them out and up, interlace your fingers and press. So you can bring those pinkies together, those big thumbs together. Release your fingers and rain them down. Let's take the arms to the side with your palms facing forward. We're going to bend at the elbow and then draw them out in front together. Elbows, heels of your hands and fingers. And we're going to inhale them open and to the side. And exhale them closed in front. So using your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Your arms might be getting tired, but work through it a bit. You can do it. This time we're going to add a big letter V when you open, and then bend the elbows and close in front. Stretch up to a big letter V. Bend the elbows and close in front. Last one. And close in front. Let's bring the elbows down and the hands down and we'll give the arms a shape. Let's do something for our hands. We'll rub them together. Create some feet. Of our hands. And of course between. Let's make some fists with our hands. So we'll open, stretch your fingers wide, and then we'll bend the joints of your fingers, the top, the middle, and close into a fist. We're gonna kind of unfurl them. Is that a word? Unfurl. Oh, that's great. So you're opening those. So you're rolling those fists down. And opening your fingers wide. Then the first joints and roll your fingers together and open them wide, lots of space. Let's interlace the fingers and press your palms forward. Let's inhale them up. Release your fingers and rain them down. Okay, so bring your palms up, right out in front, and we're gonna make a circle with each finger with your thumb. So your thumb and your pinky connect. Stretch the other fingers away, stretch, stretch. Your thumb and ring finger connect. Stretch the other fingers away, stretch, stretch. Big middle finger and pointer. So let's go through it again. Add a little resistance. And stretch one more time. Beautiful. Then take your thumb and touch the base of every finger. So that the thumb touches the base of your pinky, your ring finger, the big middle finger, and your index finger. And you can speed it up or slow it down. Interlace your fingers and press. Release and play the piano. Okay. Let's press the arms out in front with your heels of your hands pressing forward. Lots of space between the fingers, and then drop them down and draw them back towards you. So press through the heels of your hands, lots of space. Fingers down and back towards you. One last time, press, press. And down, let it reach. Okay, so left arm out in front. We're gonna press the heels of your hands forward and let your right hand take the four fingers of your left hand and add a stretch. And then we'll go to the other side. So right hand, left hand draws the four fingers back. And then we'll go back to the left. This time, the right hand draws the four fingers back towards you. And left hand, drop your fingers down, let your left hand stretch them back towards you. Okay, let's stand up. I'm going to stand alongside of my chair here in mountain pose. Bring your feet a little wider. We're just going to move from side to side. You can put your hands on your hips. Somebody told me that the arthritis in their fingers makes it hard for them to do this. So what she does is she takes her fists into her hips, and it's a little less painful. So I like it. Side to side. Let's add a circle, bend your knees. And the opposite direction. And come to the center. Come to the center and draw your right hip to the side and hold for a breath. And center and draw your left hip to the side and hold for a breath. And back to center. Let's walk our feet together into mountain. Let's turn towards the back of our chair and we'll do down dog. I'm standing in the mountain behind my chair and my fingertips. At the top of the chair, I walk myself into down dog. And then with the inhale, I lift my chest and walk it back into mountain. So use your breath to move in and out of the downward dog. And when you walk yourself back into downward dog, hold for a breath. And then when you start to draw the breath in, we'll walk it back into mountain. Let's come to the side of our chair and open those feet nice and wide. With one hand on your chair, bring the other arm right up next to your ear. And open that whole side, reaching up through your fingertips and down through your heel. See if you can keep your torso in the same plane. It's really tempting to twist it a bit forward, but see if you can keep it in that same plane. And then let's use the breath to come up. And then exhale a little more into the triangle pose. And this time when you come up, release the arm and we'll walk the feet together. Coming back into mountain. So for you, you can twist in the opposite direction. I'm gonna move my chair so I'm always facing forward. And then begin in our mountain pose. Open the feet nice and wide, and then the hand closest to the chair can hold the opposite arm right up next to your ear, and we're using the chair just to kind of lean into it. And then we're using our breath to move in and out of it. Feel the stretch all the way up through your fingers and down through your heel. Feel that straight line of energy coming right up through your leg, up through the side, and then up through your fingertips. Let's release the arm and walk it back into mountain. I'm going to turn and face the back of my chair again in mountain. And then use the exhale to walk back into the downward dog. Inhale into mountain and exhale into downward dog. With your hands on your chair, that'll help you balance as you step your right foot back. And what happens is the right hip wants to go with it. So see if you can center your hips, square them off so that you're facing forward. And if you want that chair for balance, you can just draw it in a bit closer. Okay, take your shoulders up, down, and back. We'll have the arms right alongside of our body. We're going to use the breath to lift those arms out in front and all the way up. And then exhale them out and down. This time we're going to add the knee. So inhaling, bend the forward knee and sweep the arms up. And exhale them out and down. So you're using the in-breath to come into warrior and the out-breath to come out. So we're looking for this nice kind of flowing, right? And when you get into the warrior, you can feel the fire from your back leg. But we're gently stoking that fire with breath. Next time you come into the warrior, really engage the muscles in your thigh, in your bottom, all the way down through the heel. And then exhale the arms down. Let's walk the feet together into mountain. And hold for a breath. Let's use the exhale to move back into downward dog. In breath, lifting up and back into mountain. And exhale, walking back into downward dog. Let's walk it back into mountain and we'll move to the other side. So we're going to hold the chair and take a big step back with your left foot. What happens is your left hip wants to go. So bring it forward and square them off. Your arms are down by your side. And we're going to use the breath to come in and out of the warrior. Here we go. Bend that forward knee and exhale it out and down. Use the inhale to come into the warrior one. And the exhale to come out and down. Do it a few more times. Feel the back leg, the energy coming up that back leg, straighten it, make it strong. Let's hold for a breath in warrior. And then your exhale out and down, and we'll walk the feet together. Coming back into mountain, let's use our exhale to walk back into downward dog. Using the inhale to walk back into mountain. Next time you come into the mountain pose, let's hold for a breath. Let's come down to our mat. Staff pose or Dandasana is just a mountain right bend. If you're feeling that it's difficult to maintain this posture, you can make kind of these little tents with your hands behind and help you lift your heart. So we don't want to lift so high that we're arching the back. We're looking for a nice balance here between lift and the breath. Okay, let's move the heels nice and wide. And again, if you're struggling to maintain this, just draw those arms behind and lift up through your heart. But not so much that you're arching your spine. We're looking for a nice balance. So feel grounded through your sit bones and you're lifting up to the crown of your head. Let's bring the soles of our feet together here. And same thing, we're struggling to maintain. Reach out in front at your ankles, shins. And we'll draw the knees together and out in front again. So from here, we're going to go to hands and knees. So off to the side and into hands and knees. Before we do that, let's set back into what's called the hero's pose. And this is nice when you do a lot of standing poses to give the legs a stretch. Let's move back to our hands and knees. Knees below your hips and wrists a little more forward with your fingers wide. Let's move into the cat and the cow. Remember this one? So we just did a seated heart forward and your spine just kind of sinks and arches a bit. And then with the exhale, you're rounding, tucking your chin to your chest. Inhale and drop into the cow with your heart. Exhale, round through your spine and tuck your chin. And move back and forth to your own breath. The next time you exhale the breath, let's press all the way back into child's pose. And you have some options here. You could bring your head to the floor. Or support your forehead. You could even use a brick or a blanket. Let's walk back into hands and knees. And we'll stretch the right leg back. So just roll the toes under, press through the heel. And we'll go to the other side, so left leg. Roll the toes under and stretch. Let's do that with the hands and arms. So arms right up next to your ear, stretching out, palm faces to the left. Left arm right up next to your ear, palm faces to the right. Let's take the right hand and arm and reach it out. And then the left hand and arm and reach it out. So whatever feels good here, you're maintaining that nice long spine in your neck. So don't overdo. And coming back to hands and knees. Peek around your right shoulder, looking towards your toes. Try to keep your thighs and your bottom in place as you do that. And then peeking over the left shoulder towards your feet. Make sure you're breathing. And your gaze is down. Let's do one more on each side. And we'll press it back into child's pose. On the in-breath, walk your hands back. And we'll come back into that rock pose or the high knee. So let's build our mountain here, bend at the knees. Tuck your hips down and under, lifting your torso up and out, shoulders up, down, and back, and we'll press your hips just a bit forward, not too much. We're looking for a balance. We'll hold for a breath. Let's take our hands on our hips and press your hips forward. Lift your heart. And then exhale back into the mountain, bend to the knee. Again, hands on our hips. Press your hips forward, open your heart. And exhale back to neutral. We'll take those shoulders up, down, and back. Once more. Pressing your hips forward, opening your heart. And release. Let's come back to hands and knees. And we'll press our hips back. This time we're not going to drop our head. We're going to gaze down towards the mat. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And bend the elbows. Nice deep breath in your belly here. And when you're ready, let's walk those hands back towards your knees. And we'll come into that rock pose, that hero's pose, or the standing, or the tall kneel. Okay, let's walk it all the way down. Belly and chest, all the way down to your mat. Bring the tops of your feet to the floor. Rest your forehead and nose, and take your arms down by your side. Just for a moment or two here, just let your breath go. No anticipating what's going to be next. Simply exhale into the moment here, just let it go. And the next time you inhale, walk your hands a bit forward, your fingers under your shoulders. And we're going to lift up into the Sphinx pose. So dropping elbows under your shoulders. Stretch down through your legs and toes and see if you can bring them together without causing tension in your low back. If when you draw them together, you're feeling that tension, just release them. So breathing deep in the Sphinx pose. Opening the low back. And grow up and out of your Sphinx. Make your spine long, coming from the base of your back up to the crown of your head. And let's release and bring the chest down, hands to the side. Lots of space between your fingers. You're going to get ready for Cobra. Your feet in Cobra can have some space between your toes and reach down for your legs. We're going to use the exhale to come up into our Cobra. The exhale is where the power is. So inhaling, exhaling. We're going to lift the back of the head, squeeze your inner arms to your torso, and exhale onto one side of your face. And then inhale forward and nose to your mat, and exhale with the back of your head, very gentle Cobra. Inhale, forehead and nose. Exhale, lift the back of your head into Cobra. Forehead and nose to the mat. Inhale and exhale, gently lift up into the Cobra. Release down now to the opposite side of your face. And release the tension in your arms and legs. And from here, we're going to roll onto our backs. Take your time. I was thinking this is not as graceful as the typical exercise video. I just want to check my phone and make sure you can see me way down here, and I think you can. Okay, laying on your back, take a few moments just to set yourself up. Bend your knees to start, and we'll take a moment to kind of settle our lower back. A nice way to do that is to lift your hips just a bit. Tuck your tailbone a little bit down and under. And set down to your mat. Your sacrum nice and flat. Let's move up into the shoulders and we'll flatten out the back of your chest so that your chest is nice and wide. Let's stretch the legs long to begin. Hips width apart. Arms out to the side with your fingers pointing down. Let's bring the hands alongside of the body so the palms are facing in. Let's bend the knees and walk your heels towards your bottom. We're going to use the breath to lift the arms up and over. Do the best that you can, and the exhale to bring them up and then down alongside. So we're just moving the arms here, using your breath. Inhale them up and over. And then up and down. See if you can connect that movement to your breath. And slow it down or speed it up, whichever feels best. Inhaling up and over, and then up and down. When your arms come up and then down alongside your body, let's hold for a breath. This time when we inhale, we're going to lift the hips at the same time as you bring the arms up and over. And you should feel the weight in your heels and maybe even on the back of your shoulders, but never on your head and your neck. Let's release the hips down. And we'll do it as one motion. So inhaling arms up and over and press your hips towards the ceiling. And then the arms come up, down, and your hips come down. Make it a movement of the whole body. Moving up and pressing up. And then up and down. Connect your breath. Let's do it once more, up and over and press. And back down. Let's take one knee into your chest and then stretch the other leg long. And we'll release, take the other side to your chest and stretch the other leg long. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, take both knees into your chest, And this time we'll rock them side to side. And with your hands on your knees, create big circles around your sacrum. And we always go in the opposite direction. Let's drop our feet to the mat. And walk your feet out to the edges of the mat with your feet on the floor. And we're going to take turns dropping one knee to the center and then the other. So make sure those feet are nice and wide and you don't have much room to work with. And let's drop the knees to one side and pull forward. And inhale them up and drop them on the other side and hold the breath. Let's inhale them up and then walk your feet hip width apart. Let's stretch those legs nice and long. Create a little bit of space between your heels so your feet can flop out to the side. And come up and be aware of what's happening with your hips and your low back. Do they feel grounded? If they don't, or you're having some discomfort, plant your feet on the mat and just lift up. And create some space for your sacrum. Let's flatten out the shoulder blades. Open the chest. And release the weight of your arms. You can bring them down by your side or simply let them roll out with your palms lifting up. Become aware of your breath as it comes in. And leaves. See if you can draw it low into your belly. Let's close our eyes and focus on your breath. Each time you exhale, imagine that you're simply letting go. Simply giving over the weight or the tension to your body. Coming back from Shavasana, bend your elbows and knees and roll to one side. I like to make a pillow with my hands. And slowly and gently coming up and back to seated. Let's bring our hands in front of our heart. Draw those fingers to your chest for namaste. 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 Oh, you did pretty well. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, you do? I think you're all alone. Okay. Sit back in your chair and find your sit bones. Reach up to the crown of your head and roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Turn your palms up to the ceiling, and we're just going to take a few moments for breath. Close your eyes and just become aware of your breath. Listen to the sound that your breath makes when it comes in. Filling your chest and belly. Become aware of the rise of your chest and belly. I'm aware of the sensations in your body, the noises around you. And when you're ready, come back. Slowly open your eyes. It's a nice way to start a yoga practice by tuning in. So much of our attention is out into the world and in our thinking mind. So taking that moment to connect your breath and your mind, your body, is so important. So for the next 45 minutes, we're gonna try to connect our mind with our body, be in our body, feel what it feels, and notice. Okay, so let's move to the front of our chair, and we'll use our arms and our heart and our chest to take a nice deep breath in and stretch it out and up. And exhale it out and down. It's a gorgeous day out there. I hope you get outside today. The sun is shining, and I notice little flowers poking up, little crocuses. And I've seen the robins in my yard, so you know spring is here. Spring is a wonderful time for yoga. A nice time to remember the breath and how important it is. Okay, arms out and down. Let's roll those shoulders, open the chest, open the heart. So much of the time we spend with our shoulders rolling forward in our head and our body forward, We're getting it done. We're working on that to-do list. Even our body mimics what our mind is thinking. Get it done, get it done. So taking your body back into awareness is so important. Let's bring your shoulders down on each side. Let's roll them up, back, and down, and give your shoulder blades a little squeeze, and notice your chest, how open it becomes when you do that. Let's place our hands on our thighs, and we'll do a cat and cow. So the cow's heart is lifted, not overly lifted, but in a balanced way within your heart. Then we'll round through your spine. I like to tuck my chin down. Inhaling, lift. And round. And I was to the side, you see it a little differently. So rounding and lifting. See if you can keep those arms nice and straight. And what we're doing is we're stretching our spine. We're rounding and lifting our spine, making it nice and tall, and then we're rounding, creating lots of space between the vertebrae. So inhale to neutral. We'll roll our shoulders down, point your fingers to the earth, and we'll move from side to side. So I'm going to hold the underside of my chair, one hand, the other arm right up next to my ear, and I'm just going to open. So it's okay if this arm bends. I'm looking for an opening. Notice how my legs are not moving. I'm imagining they're stable, they're in concrete, which allows me to just open my spine. And you could roll your head to look up or inside of your arm. I don't do that. I always keep my chin in line with my chest. I have some arthritis in my neck, so I'm always mindful of the posture and the balance in my neck. Opposite arm up and just open it up. Using the breath here. Let's do one last one. Coming back to center and release. I'm still at the edge of my chair. This time I'm going to reach back and open my heart. So if this is just too much for your shoulders, you can always reach down or under, kind of lessen the angle. And then I'm going to exhale and bring the hands out in front. Again, the rounding. Almost like the cat and cow. This would be the cow, and this would be the cat. And then coming into neutral, sitting up nice and straight and tall. Let's do a twist. I'm going to turn to the side of my chair with my feet hip width apart, and I'm going to rotate my torso to the back of the chair. And I'm holding the chair at 10 and 2. It's like I was driving a car. Keeping my spine nice and tall, I'm using the torso to twist and lift. And I can use my inhale to twist a little deeper. And I'll come back to center and go to the other side. Feet hip width apart, seated nice and tall, holding onto the chair at 10 and 2. And coming back to neutral, center, feet under your knees, shoulders up, back, and down. Let's take some nice deep breaths in, out, and up. And when you get up there, we'll interlace and press. Let's bend the elbows and make some circles around our head. Center and circles again. Come to center and release the fingers, rain them down, big circles with your shoulders. Let's come to center. We're still at the edge of our chair, and we're going to use our breath to move in and out of forward bend. So begin with a nice deep breath in, and then as you exhale, just glide your hands down and let your head in. And we start to inhale the breath, inhale it up and back. So we'll use the exhale to move forward, and the inhale to come backward. And exhale into neutral. And let's walk our feet nice and wide. And then we'll walk together. We're just warming up our hips, letting them know we're gonna spend some time stretching them, opening them. And then make your feet nice and wide, not too wide. And with your hands on your thighs or up and underneath, we're just going to take turns dropping your knees to the center. You never want to, feel pull on your knees. And if you do, you can always kind of close your feet and make it just a little bit less of an angle. Speed it up or slow it down. Maintain that really nice posture, that nice tall spine. Then we'll lift and walk the feet together. Let's take the right knee into your chest and we'll give it a hug. And the left knee into your chest and we'll give it a hug. And the right leg, we're going to stretch it out in front and add a reach. And then the left leg out in front and we'll add a reach. Let's bring the soles of our feet together and we'll let the knees fall away. And we're in our cobbler's pose. Press your feet gently together and open your hips. Hopefully this feels good, a nice opening of your hips. And then you can soften your belly here. Your heart. And look up to the crown of your head. Notice the sensations in your body, what's happening. Body is designed to give us feedback, and it always will. It'll let you know if this is a good thing or if this isn't a good thing. And so listening to your body is so important. Okay, let's stand up. I'm going to stand behind the back of my chair. And let's come into a mountain pose. So grounding our feet and lots of space between our toes. And that makes the base of our body nice and wide. We're going to take the shoulders up, back, and down, open the chest. Lots of space between your ears and your shoulders. And lift up the crown of your head. Imagine a string pulling you up. And at the same time, you're reaching down through your fingers. So there's this kind of opposite stretch. Very nice. Let's open our feet. Just be comfortable with the part, and with our hands on our hips, we're just going to move from side to side. Make some circles, pressing your body back and forward. Big circles. Here's where you hear all the clicks and cracks and pops. And change the direction, and they'll go away. The more you do, they'll go away. Easy knees, easy knees. Coming back to center, back to back, side to side. Let's press your hip in one direction and hold. And then center in the other direction, and then we'll hold. And back to the center, and we'll walk our feet together. I'm going to open my feet nice and wide, and the hand that's closest to my chair, I'm going to keep my fingers right there, and the opposite arm right up next to my ear, and I'm going to I'm just going to place my weight onto the chair as I open the side of my body. Let's inhale it up and reach, and exhale it open. Inhale it up and release the arm, and we'll go to the other side. Coming back into mountain. I'm going to take my chair to the other side. You can just turn around. Hand closest to the chair. Just rest your fingers there, opposite arm right up next to your ear. We're going to open it up. And feel the stretch up from your heel all the way up through your fingertips. Imagine it's one straight line of energy. Just opening up this whole side. And then back to center. And we'll walk it back into mountain. So the reason we always come back into mountains is we always want to move from a stable place, a centered place, never moving from one pose to the other unless it's a vinyasa designed for that way, for that reason. Okay, let's turn to the back of our chair. Fingers on the back of your chair. We're going to use the exhale now to walk into downward dog. The inhale to lift, and the exhale to walk back. When you walk back into mountain, we'll hold ourselves in that mountain breath. Let's move into a warrior. A warrior pose is going to require us to step it back. I've got probably a couple of feet between my heel and my toes. This right hip, I'm going to bring it forward and square my hips off in front. And I'm going to ease up on my knees. With my arms down by my side, I'm going to use the breath to come in and out of this warrior one. So we're going to use the breath to come out in front, arms out in front, and then all the way up, and notice I'm bending my forward knee. Exhaling out. Use the inhale to come into that warrior one, back leg nice and strong. Exhale to come out. Open your heart, lift, strong warrior. Inhale coming in. Exhale coming out. This time, let's walk our feet together and we'll stay in a mountain pose for a breath. You can probably feel one leg very different from the other. Stepping the left foot back and the right foot forward. You can even move your chair closer if you needed it for balance. And of course, that left hip, we're going to bring it forward. Arms down by our side. We're going to use the breath to come in and out of this brave warrior. Here we go. Inhale into that brave warrior. And exhale out and down. And a couple more times. Walk with your breath. Let's walk the feet together and come into our mountain pose. Okay. Standing behind the chair in our mountain pose. Let's open the feet nice and wide again. And with your fingers on your chair, we're just going to bend one knee and straighten it, and then to the other side. Bend one knee. I'm doing a little pulse here. Feel your weight on the whole foot, the pad of the big toe, the heel. Feel how it presses into the mat as you bend your knee. Never moving much forward than your toe. We're keeping our joints in line, in alignment. Last one on the left side, here we go. Come back to center and walk the feet together. Open your feet a little wider than hip width apart. And with your hands on your chair, if you need to, we'll kick the heel to the back. Maybe you can put your hands on your hips for this. And kicking it back. Coming back to center and then to mountain. This time we're going to come up onto the big toe and we're going to point it out to the side and then bring it in. So you can hold the chair or your hips up onto the big toe, toe tap and back. Try not to lose that nice tall spine. And then come back to the center and to mountain. And lift up the crown of your head. This is somewhat of a balance pose. This time I'm coming up onto my toe to the outside. You can speed it up or slow it down. Let's do one more on each side, and we'll come back to mountain. Easy knees. With our hands on our hips, let's reach it back behind. Back behind. And hold onto your chair. You can place your hands on your hips. One more on each side. And walk it back into mountain. Lifting up to the crown of your head. Reach down through your feet. Easy knees. Fingers pointing towards the earth. Let's open our feet nice and wide. They're wider than my chair. And we'll add the arms for a big letter X. Lift your heart and reach through your fingertips. At the same time, tuck your tailbone down and under. Press your hips just a bit forward with easy knees, letter X. Feel all that's happening in this pose. From your fingertips to your toes, bend the elbows and walk the feet together into our mountain. Let's open our feet nice and wide again. Feel the weight of your heels and underneath the pad of your big toe. You're not going anywhere, you're nice and stable. Inhale the arms out to the side, all the way up, lift your heart. This time we're gonna exhale and bend the elbows, bring them in towards your chest and bend the knees. We're gonna inhale and straighten. And exhale and bend everything in. Inhale, reach. And exhale in. One last one. Inhale, reach. And exhale in. Let's come to center and walk the feet together. Let's have a seat in our chair. And we'll do some nice stretches for our lower body that work so hard for us. Come sit in your chair and find your sit bones and rest against the back of your chair. With your hands on your belly, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale the breath, pull the belly in. Imagine the belly button squeezing against your spine. It's almost like a tube of toothpaste. You're squeezing the toothpaste out. And then fill it up again and squeeze it out. Fill it up and squeeze it out. One last time. Fill your belly and squeeze it out. Hands on your thighs. Let's move to the edge of your chair again. Come to that seated, neutral place where we're in our mountain, but we're bent at the hip and the knees. Let's walk our feet together, and we'll bring our knees together. Add a little bit of resistance, add a little squeeze, and then let it go. We're going to take the right thigh and cross it right over your left. I have to help myself a little here. And this top foot, my right foot, is pointing down towards the earth. At the same time, I'm lifting up to the crown of my head, making my spine nice and tall. Next time I exhale the breath, I'm just going to bring my belly towards my thighs. And inhale it up and back. Exhale. A little bit of a folding happening here. Exhale and fold. Inhale. Come up and back. And last one. Go fold. Come back to neutral. Release the legs and notice one leg versus the other. Hands on knees. Let's do a little open, close, open, close. Let's walk the feet together, big toes together, knees together, add a little resistance, squeeze, squeeze. And then cross left leg over right. I can help myself a little. Top foot, left foot points to the earth. If your crossed legs are looking a little like this, that's okay too. As long as you're not in pain, point your toes to the floor. Hands on my knee, I'm going to use the exhale to fold forward. Belly towards my thighs. I'm going to inhale it up and back and exhale, belly towards my thighs. And one last fold here. Let's inhale it up and back and release the thighs. We're going to move knees open and close. Let's stretch the thighs forward. Move legs. Stretch the legs forward. Come up onto the heels of your feet. I have bare feet, so it's easy for me to slide. And let's open your feet nice and wide. And then close them in again. Open those feet nice and wide. Your knees can have a little bump in them. Your hips are tight. Back together. Bend your knees, feet on the floor. Let's sit up nice and straight and tall. Let's try a downward dog on a seated position, and that looks like this. We're stretching our legs out in front. Notice I have a little bend in the knee. I'm lifting up to the crown of my head. And as I breathe in, I'm going to lift the arms out to the side and all the way up with my palms facing forward. And as I exhale, I'm going to bend just inches forward. I'm not too much forward, just inches. Downward dog. Inhale it up and back and exhale, coming into the downward dog. We're going to exhale the arms down on the feet on the floor. Nice deep breath in. Let it out with something about that audible sigh when your brain hears it, it knows. Relax, let it go. Here we go. Legs stretch out in front, little bump in the knee. Inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Just a bit forward, just inches forward. Inhale it up and exhale it out, and feet on the floor. Nice deep breath in. Let it out. Audible sigh. Take one knee to your chest and give it a little squeeze, and another knee to your chest and give it a little squeeze. Here we are at the edge of your chair again. Plant your feet, lift your torso nice and tall, soften your belly. Let's bring our hands together. We don't want to forget our hands and feet today. They're so important. They're our connections to the earth. They're how we bring stimuli into the body. A lot of our stimuli comes into our face and our feet and hands. Okay. In between your fingers, we're just creating the heat. Don't forget the tops. Let's interlace the fingers and press forward. And then interlace opposite thumb on top, press forward. And two big balls with your fists, we're just going to make circles around and around. Feel the stretch in the wrist. You type on a computer all day or for a large part of the day, this is going to feel really good. Change the direction. We'll do open, close, open, stretch, lots of space, close, squeeze. You can speed it up or slow it down. Arms out in front, press through the heels of your hands. Almost like a stop, lots of space between your fingers. Let's roll to one side and the other. Feel where that stretches. Arms out in front, let your fingers hang. And then the opposite hand can draw them down, under, and back. Other side. Draw those fingers down, under, and back. Let's give those hands a shake. Let's make circles with each finger. I'm making like a flicking motion. It's like an active versus a passive. Thumb makes a circle with every finger. The other finger stretch. One more time through. Stretch those other fingers. Turn the palms up and the thumb touches every base of every finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Touches the base of the pinky, ring finger, big middle finger, and index. Okay. Open, close. Play the theme. And fireworks. Let's rub them together, in between and the tops. Come up onto the balls of your feet and create lots of space between the toes. See if you can make space between every toe. There are some toes that are destined to stay together. And then come up onto the balls of your feet, lift your heels and roll to the pinky and the big toe. And then come up onto your heels again, lots of space between the toes. Lifting the heels onto the balls of your feet, roll to the big toe, to the baby. Last one, heels. Lots of space between the toes. Can you get space between every toe? Up onto the balls of your feet and outward and in. Let's place the feet on the floor and we'll end with a nice cobbler's pose. Soles of your feet together. Knees fall away. Connect with your sit bones, soften your belly, take your shoulders up, down, and back. And breathe in all the way down deep. Feel all of this space to breathe into, unencumbered space. See if you can fill it all up. Let's bring our knees together, feet on the floor, and we'll sit back. Rest your torso on the back of your chair if you'd like, or support your own spine lifting up to the ground, whichever you prefer. Let's turn the palms up to the ceiling and we'll close our eyes. Soften your belly for breath. Do a body scan from your head to your toe. Don't forget those little spaces, like the muscles around your eyes and your fingers and toes. It's easy to remember the big places, shoulders, hips, and knees. But what about those small joints and muscles? Think about directing the breath into those places. As everything settles and everything at ease in your body today. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring awareness to that breath. Quiet your mind and listen. Listen to the sounds of your body, the sounds in the room. Can you hear the beating of your heart? And when you're ready to come back, slowly open your eyes. Thanks for coming to yoga today. Come back next week. Bring a friend. We're here in person at the town hall, so come and see us.